Alright, this is Austin at the Best I Can Afford Antiques channel. Usually I can just set my camera in front of the box and everything's fine. This particular box is sort of colossal, so I've opened the top of it and we're just gonna take the object out of there. Clearly, this isn't doing us any good, is it? So, I've never received a box this large. This is one of my most expensive boxes. Oh, I don't. Alright, sorry about that. I forgot to put gloves on. It's not gonna fly. It's not gonna fly. So, oh, I'm not gonna lie, you guys might be a little impressed here. Let me clean off his little dust particles, so on and so forth. What a gorgeous thing. I took it out of the box when I initially got it, and then I decided I was going to do this YouTube stuff, so we went straight back in the box until I had a good place to put him, until I got to show everybody. Well, how do you do? You guys are getting some understanding of how large that is, I assume. Let's see, probably there's about a foot. It's maybe a 2 foot, 20-inch piece. It was sold as a 19-inch piece, but I'm not sure how accurate that measurement is. So, I've already spoken with an expert about this piece, because a 19-inch cloisonné vase from the Meiji era, if that's indeed its exact size, is a rare thing. So, I spoke with an expert, and he told me to refer to this as being in the school of Namikawa Sosuke. Namikawa Sosuke was a Meiji-era Japanese cloisonné artist. He was known as one of the two best Meiji-era cloisonné artists. I think just looking at it from that far away, you probably start to understand why he was known as one of the best. We're going to do some real fine detail work on this, and then we'll flip it over and we can look at the other panel. Now, obviously this bird is gorgeous. I don't know if you can see all the wire work that went into him right here. I mean, that is pretty spectacularly fancy. I'm going to get the little blinder light so we can use glare as our friend, which is, when I'm taking nice pictures of these, the glare is our enemy, but when it comes to looking at the little wires they used to actually form all this stuff, this is pretty handy. So there we can see hopefully a fairly good example of some of his wire work. I mean, that's a pretty amazing little bird. So, Namikawa Sosuke was from Kyoto, I believe. I might be mixing this up. No, Kyoto is Namikawa Yasuyuki. So, I'm pretty sure. I'm not a historian on this stuff yet, but there were two guys. They were both named Namikawa. That's a surname. They were unrelated. And Yasuyuki is typically regarded as the best cloisonné artist from the Meiji era. This is Sosuke, who is typically regarded as right there along with him. Meiji era is considered to be the golden era of cloisonné. And I've got one of, I'm not saying it's thought to be in the school of, but I've got what appears to be one of the second best artists' pieces, and it's huge. Now, we have to talk about this little bit of damage here. It's so unfortunate, but it's there. There's a slight crack. It comes away from the base object just a small bit. You can definitely catch your fingernail on it. There's a small amount of crazing just as you go along the piece here. But it is not horrible. I mean, for this to make it 100 years with just that little bit, and then there's a little bit of a deformation to the rim up here. You see how that's just a little bit lower than the rest of it? And that is the extent of his damage. Now, let's investigate these. First off, I don't know if that's real gold flake in the enamel or if that is something called goldstone, which may have been an extra process in the making of these things. What they would do is lay down like a stony, coarse material on some of these. I'm not sure if that's the technique for this, but a stony, coarse material like pyrite, fool's gold, maybe? I just hit the microphone. I hope it didn't do anything horrible. But they laid that down in whole clumps, like you could see the little stones sticking out from under the enamel, and then they would sand that down, revealing this beautiful gold-looking pattern. Now, these designs on the sides and stuff, I mean, they're pretty amazing. Look at this little, let me find him again. This little peach leaf with the crazy designs coming off of them there. These dragons coiled around almost each other. And it's a very abstract little dragon face, but if you look at older art like this, a lot of the time they have little weird faces, and those dragons are sort of recognizable as part of cloisonné. Beautiful little purplish pink flame clouds around them. I just woke up and jumped right in here. I haven't taken a shower or anything, so you'll have to excuse me for being a dirty butt. So yeah, these all look like they are formed on top of the enamel, like here we have, here we have the base enamel, right? So then just above that is this enamel. So what they must have done is laid down this base enamel, which is a beautiful emerald green with gold all through it. It's ridiculously gorgeous. So jeez. So they laid down this base enamel, and then they must have put a coat of clear enamel in between that and these decorations, because they sort of float on top of this enamel, and it's a gorgeous effect. And these things they have all down the side of it. I mean, what a beautiful, beautiful thing. I know there's always dirt on my little black mat here. It's because I put the box on top of them right after I cleaned them off. Now, this is all pretty important. I mean, these are pretty spectacular things. These are all obviously made with wire and filled with enamel and stuff. I mean, just think how long it would have taken a person to form those little buds and stuff out of wire. I mean, minuscule wire. We're talking, let's do the chopstick thing. Hold on. So here's the tip of my chopstick. Oh, so let's do it on one that's actually in frame. So here's the tip of my chopstick, and that is how wide the wire is. So, I mean, we're talking like almost human hair. I mean, it is a very thin wire. Yeah, I mean, just everything on it's beautiful. What do you want me to say? Touch the microphone again. It's going to be good for it, I'm sure. I mean, even the branch he's sitting on is gorgeous. So I actually saved the better side for last. Now, this is an unsigned piece, and I mean, let's take a moment with his fanciness, shall we? So I think this is worth quite a bit, if I'm honest. I'm not the most knowledgeable person ever, but I believe a giant Namikawa Sosuke vase will be worth a fair bit. If that's who it is, I know, in the school of. So look, this piece actually gets a lot neater on this side. Now, minor crazing right here. I'll point it out just so everybody knows what's there. These flowers are pretty individual. These birds are fantastic. And then there were just, several little small details that are just incredible to me. Look at these caterpillar holes on that leaf right there. Now, not only that, but you see that sprig of bamboo, and it seems to be tied to another sprig of bamboo. Well, you come up here, and you can see that he's actually bothered to tie these plants up to a sprig of bamboo and show you the little lattice work that is responsible for them growing in such a way. I mean, what a thing to add. I mean, why would you? It's because you were better at this than everyone else, and you wanted to explain that to them in a not-so-subtle way. Oh, goodness gravy. Can you believe that? 19-inch, well, at least, Meiji-era vase, thought to be in the school of Namikawa Sosuke. Could you ask for more on that? I mean, yeah. I hate to say it, this is one of my more expensive pieces. He was $350, and yet I still feel like I made out like a bandit. Now, let's get his little geometric patterns up here, because those are pretty unique and pretty neat, if I'm honest. Hopefully I can get close enough to matter. Am I wrong in saying that this is just absolutely beautiful? I mean, how could it not be attributed to one of the top artists? So, a little bit of styrofoam stuck to him. Just ignore that. So yeah, I don't even think this guy will fit in my curio here. Even with a shelf removed, I think I'm going to have to set him on the floor, which is a shame. At least until we get him his own little storage area. What a beautiful thing. You know what, everybody? I feel like I've been super lucky on all this stuff. I feel like I've really scored some just awesome things. $350 for this. I mean, oh, goodness gravy. We're going to go out with just one more shot of both his sides here. I mean, the time and artistry this would have taken to make. I mean, what an incredible thing. And it's not just, it's not just making the picture with wires. I'm sorry. And filling it with liquid, I mean, you're filling this whole portion with liquid, right? So as you're doing that, it would want to run off of the piece, and I mean, a liquid or gelatin is not going to be the easiest thing to work with, especially when you try to heat it up and then it starts running all over the place. So this consisted of not only forming the wires, but then laying down the enamel, firing it to harden it, and then coming back to it and sanding it and deciding where you wanted more or less enamel. And I mean, what a process. I don't know exactly how long the process would have taken, but I mean, I would assume that something of this size and stature would have taken weeks to make. I'm not positive, but I mean, if you consider all of the side detail, I mean, there must be 50 of these little designs that are leaves and dragons, and I mean, somewhere in there. I mean, just to lay those down would have taken days of your life, I imagine. And they're all unique, so it's not like they just copy and pasted them. I mean, somebody worked really hard to form new dragons, new leaves. So yeah, I'm Austin. This is the best I can afford antiques, and I think I'm doing super well. I hope everybody else is too. Have a super good weekend. I might see you again tomorrow. I got something else I'm really itching to open, so I cheated on you with this one, but I think you'll like the next piece too. And obviously, this is killer. I don't know how you're feeling, but I'm gonna tell you how you should feel. You should be impressed because this is pretty good. Austin at the Best I Can Afford Antiques. You guys have a good day.